Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages. Welcome to League of Europe. And as you can see in the background of the giant thing that says Brazil, welcome to the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pace, aka Sao Paulo. And joining me, as per usual, it's my good old friend. Say hello.
Hello. It's Ben JS here, yeah. Glad to be back for the penultimate round of Division 4 today.
Indeed, we are 36 laps ahead of the drivers, 4.3099 kilometres. 6 to the left, 7 to the right around this anti-clockwise circuit. First hosted a race in F1 in 1973. This circuit, in fact, opened its doors back in 1940. 5 Brazilian drivers have run the Brazilian Grand Prix. Fittipaldi, Piquet, Senna, Massa, and Carlos Pace, of course, which this track is named after in his honour. Brazil has the most pole sitters around here, and talking of pole, 36% chance of the pole sitter winning this race as well. We have had many championships decided more recently, 05, 2007, 08, 09, and 2012 as well. Alain Prost, the most successful driver around here, 6 at Brazil. They're the most successful driver on this exact circuit. That goes to Michael Schumacher on 4, with Vettel and Hamilton both on 3. The fastest lap on this circuit, by the way, at 1:11.010. That was set by Sergio Perez last year. So, a lot to look forward to. 19 drivers, my good friend. We should be in for a cracking race.
It certainly does, and obviously, we say this every week. Brazil is, well, for me anyway, one of the better tracks on this calendar. It's been around for ages. It's also very, it's a good overtaking track as well, which is all we want to see, even though this game, it does seem to be more train-based than most tracks, but hopefully quite a bit of chaos, just enough for us to constantly be talking for about an hour.
Indeed, as we get ourselves our first lap time on then, and this is the Williams. He comes down towards the centre rest end, up over the crest, spot the braking zone on the right, around about the 75 metre board, chucks it in, down on the left, get the front end gripping through the centre rest as you now come up through the Curva do Sol. Turn 3, and many an accident through here in the past 2003, and it's starting to rain. Talk of the rain, I was about to mention rain, and it is raining as you come into the Del Cerro del Algo then, and of course the lakes on the outside, Interlagos in between the lakes is the name, as you come up towards turn 6, Ferrataudelen, and then into Laranjinho, I believe is the corner. I can't pronounce corner names to the best of me, so we're going to do this. It's come into turn 8 and then into Perinho, I believe, which is turn 9, and then of course turn 10 into the Bico de Pato, and that is one of the corners, but very easy to snag a break and go very wide. Chucks it into the right as now you come down into Meligino, and then of course into Yoncao, the penultimate corner on the second penultimate corner nearly, because you've got one more here and then another one down the straight, and that is the Salto de Box, as I will always now call it now. It turn 14 and then into 15, I suppose there's another one. This keeps coming, and that being Akalabala. I don't know how to pronounce that no corner, so I'm not going to try it. Back across the line, 1 minute 7.8, and any Brazilian might murder me in a minute.
Yeah, I mean, track names are, well, as Jelly behind him does a stunning 1 minute 7.2 in wet conditions as well. That's going to be a very difficult time to beat. I mean, now surely there's not going to be much improvement in terms of drivers overall. It's just the track's just going to depreciate in grip constantly now, surely.
Here indeed, this is going to get trickier and trickier. I connect meanwhile, and I said a medium size. Let's see what he can do. Jasper into third. That's crucial for him. Where is Rezify in the pit lane so far? Rezify doesn't look like he's coming out, and you can see by the fact of everyone else not improving, Rezify's left the session. Rezify, where's he gone? Well, he's certainly not here, that's the issue. Mr. Rouster in 13th. This is going to be a topsy-turvy qualifying then, if it is indeed getting wetter and wetter by the minute. As we look, seeing a McLaren crossing the line to start a lap time. We've got Jordan on a lap time. We've got a huge gaggle of cars in the midfield. We're riding on board of Saronte then as he comes down onto the braking zone. Gets it all nice and stopped through there. But rain is falling here in Brazil, and we've seen some classic races here in the rear, haven't we?
Yeah, I mean, 2008 springs to mind straight away when you mention rain. I mean, we also got to mention, if Rezify is in the pits, he may not be able to set a qualifying lap, and I think we all remember a certain battle in Brazil from last on the grid this quite recently as well.
Yeah, Mr. Lewis Hamilton, or Sir Lewis Hamilton, what was probably one of the most iconic drives through the field of all time. And no one can argue with me, because
it's got to be up there. He did it twice, didn't he, really?
He did it twice, yeah. I mean, you do it once, fair enough. I mean, he did have probably the most OP car in terms of engine performance, but still, let's give the credit to him. It was fantastic, and Brazil gave him a standing ovation. Talking of Mercedes, here is Steve Daisy. He comes through into the penultimate corner, up into the last couple of corners as well. There's the last one right there. Max Verstappen had a big swap here in 2016 down here, and somehow, I still don't know how he didn't hit the wall. Meanwhile, Steve Day across the line, and it's going to be 12th position, but you can really see the track degradation right now, because look at them all.
Yeah, no, everyone's in the pits. I mean, like, we've got a few people on laps, or on in-laps as well. But no, I mean, like we said, Jelly second across the line, was it? He got the fastest lap of the session, which says it all, really. I mean, we've got 5 drivers there that haven't set a lap time, so it'd be interesting to see maybe if the rain dries up again at the end, because that's maybe what they're waiting for. Other than that, no clue. As Reservoir is out. On the mediums as well. Interesting, cool.
Apparently, it's not raining, according to some people. It definitely is raining, apparently. It said it's not forecast to rain, but there is rain in the air. As we're looking at the McLaren with his yellow helmet. All very reminiscent to Senna as well, I must say. Or Hamilton as well, because they both did do it so far. But Jelly, so far on pole position. And if it is going to stay the way it is, this could really change the order in qualifying. Here comes MCR. Let's see if he can do anything. Cross the line right now to 1 minute 8.2. A second off of Jelly as well. And Jelly, who has not had the best of season so far. He has taken one win and then DNF'd the next couple. Which is, it kind of just sums up me trying to say people are on a streak and they all have issues. But this is going to be interesting. I'm seeing Steve saying he was eating pizza. He's come back and, well, I'm not going to repeat the word, but rain is what he's saying right there.
So, we are unsure whether there's rain or not. We see rain, so we're going to have to guess there's rain, I'm guessing.
There definitely is some soggy rain in the air right now above the drivers, and what we are seeing right now
is Reservoir in the AlphaTauri on his lap.
Yes.
Purple sector 1 as well. I mean, very impressive if he'd managed to do it on a wet track on medium tyres, but he soldiers on through. I'm not going to even try to pronounce the names, as he just starts the middle sector, let's say.
Yes.
Into the tight and twisty section of the track where you need that downforce. Obviously, it's a risk versus reward. Maybe you go downforce, maybe you go straight line speeds. It will certainly show which drivers are quicker where, based on their setups, I think. As he comes through the end of sector 2, he seems pretty clean so far. A bit of a lift through the fast left-hander. I mean,
it shows it's definitely wet here, isn't it?
Yeah.
He comes up the hill. He had to take a big jab off the throttle and led on the intermediates. Reservoir, all he needs to do right now is try and set a lap time and see where he can go. It's not going to be pole, but can he get himself anywhere near the front? No, he can't.
No.
1 minute 9.7, and this is going to really switch the championship around if the race was finishing as it is, because remember, Reservoir needs 15 points advantage here over Jasper, and he will be crowned champion here in Brazil. But Jasper, he could have a shot of coming all the way back and pretty much getting this to square one again, and that will be entertaining.
I mean, yeah, I think I keep referencing, but yeah, as it stands, we're recreating 2021 here, just with 2 different constructors. But I think if any of us know that the race isn't over as it's over, I think it's us 2 seeing some of the drives that we've seen across this season. I mean, didn't someone do it a calendar last week that went from last to the podium almost?
Oh, I can't remember off the top of my head. There was a lot of action for the last couple of weeks. Pole post in the pit lane, Melty across the line, the 1 minute 14. He's got no pace in the car. It's just raining. People are coming out on lap times. Connect's not improving. Mr. Wowster, he would love to improve, but 4.4 seconds down for him. I don't think we're going to get any more lap times in qualifying here today. This is incredible.
Yeah, I mean,
Sorry to cut over you here. Apparently,
Yeah,
Rezify
sorry.
forgot his setup. Rezify apparently has forgot his setup. And this
Oh,
is
no.
really going to be a problem for him. And we
Yeah,
have
well,
Steve Day as
that
well.
certainly throws a spanner in the works for Reservoir there and the AlphaTauri team in general. As no one's really going to the intermediates. I mean, it's been raining, what, for a good almost 10 minutes now in Brazil as Aledi spins on his outlap, as I said that. So maybe the Inters are the tyre that needed, but yeah, it still seems quite dry enough for the dry tyres, by the looks of it anyway.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, its skating conditions of summer went very wide through the exit of Young Cow there, as we're looking at Steve Day coming in the pit lane. So that no one's doing lap times so far. We're looking at Aledi. Let's see what he can do as he comes through Sector 1. And it's going to be telling what his splits are going to be. I mean, you could go purple here, even in the wet, I suppose, because it is a very flat-out section. Let's see how it's looking for him. If he's improving that 3 tenths down, he just doesn't look like we're going to be seeing many lap times. MCR starting a lap as well. We'll have a look and see what he could do in Sector 1, but I fear, predictably, it's not going to be improvements. You can just see, look at them sliding here. Look at the steering wheel movements. They're having to really try and get this car turning in.
Yeah, I mean, the session certainly seems to be over right now. We'll see Storm retiring the pit lane as well, so that kind of suggests to me that the rain's here to stay. These 6 minutes are almost just getting ready for the race almost now, race practice.
Indeed.
As Jordan's just said, 5.5 seconds off the Delta the Inters are.
Yeah, so that probably tells all you need to know right there. But in these appalling kind of, well, I wouldn't say appalling conditions, but definitely not ideal conditions. It's, well, not ideal at all for any of the drivers. It's too greasy for slicks, too wet for the intermediates, I reckon, right now. I'm looking at the chat from Melty. That's pretty much exactly what he just said. So, there we are. As Ramsam, let's see if he can get a lap time in. He's not got one in, neither is Jordan. Jordan was, I believe, is watching Liverpool vs Chelsea in the FA Cup final. As someone has gone off through the exit of Seneras area. And he's got himself back going, but yellow flags flying through that. And what do you do here? You're doomed if you do, you're doomed if you don't try and do a lap time.
Yeah, I mean, I know for me personally, if in this situation, I take the 5-minute break and carry on watching the football. But I don't. If it's dry race, there's really no point to being out. If the track's as greasy as everyone's saying it is. The tyres aren't going to be performing anyway near what they're supposed to do anyway. So I know personally for me, I would just retire unless there's a chance of it drying up again. But it doesn't look likely now.
Indeed, Ramsan crossed the line, 1 minute 11 for him, and well, we are going to have a topsy-turvy qualifying here today in Brazil with so many people. I mean, these just stay going out, still setting lap times. I'll give them the credit of that, even if they're not doing it. They're giving us some action. So thank you everyone for giving us some action on circuit, but it is very, very, very soggy, and it's going to be interesting to see if anyone's going to make a mistake, because Weatherfry's rejoined. So he's back in, but you can see, look at the circuit here. It's got wet puddles starting to form. And now it's kind of the situation where if I was on the dry tyres, I'd be skedaddling straight up. And Melty's saying, is the race going to be dry or wet? I'm going to ask Melty though, because he can reply to me in the stream. What's the race looking like? Is it dry or is it going to be wet?
I think there needs to be a Toyota on the track around the last corner, I think, in this sort of weather.
Good old Glock back in those days, and people still say that was scripted. It wasn't. There's a lovely interview Martin Brundle did with...
I'm pretty sure Glock said it himself, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has now saying, drive for the race. So we are going to have a dry race, but like I was saying with Glock, here Massa had an interview with Martin Brundle where they aired everything out and showed exactly, well, what happened that day in Brazil and showed all the onboards. Of course, you can see the onboards as well of Truly, who was dead on the slicks, and you can just see how wet it was. It is very beautiful, but I think everyone retiring from the session so far as well. And it looks like so Jelly on pole, Lixie second, Jasper in third, Ryan from Storm, Esteban from Poldy Post, and then we've got Saronte, Bradmont, Consul, Melty, Jordan, then MCR, the two McLarens, line astern, Steve Aledi down in 13th position. 14th, so I say, connects from Mr. Ralston Reservoir down in 17th. He's going to have to do a lot of overtaking, and then the Ramsam and Jordan at the back. And good to see, we've got one car on circuit.
A lot of overtaking without a setup as well. He's gonna need a lot of chaos to happen in this race, I think, for him to be anywhere near that podium spot. Looking at just based off how bad a default setup is compared to a fully made setup, I suppose. As we got Bram on the Inters, so yeah, definitely wet weather now.
It is. He comes through then in to Pradino, and then of course into the Bico de Pato, and gets it nice and slowed up. You can just see all the lovely trees around this circuit. It is a very beautiful place here in Interlagos. Even though we're not going on the quickest lap time right now, he's just going to give us something to look at, which is nice. You can see all the trees lining the circuit. That's why Kimi Räikkönen went off, remember, in 2012 on his adventures around this circuit. And little fact, by the way, where he was, that was actually the old circuit where he came up to the fence, which I find lovely as well. The old circuit, by the way, wrapping itself around, of course. Huge bit goes straight on down here at turn number 1. And in fact, the section we're looking at right here as you come into the center S, that used to be backwards in the old days. It used to loop around here and it would have rejoined, I believe, pretty much up where turn 6 is currently.
Yeah, I mean, I think I saw a TikTok on it actually the other day, like showcasing like the actual old track, and it did look, I mean, almost as good as this one, really.
I mean, you come back through here backwards. I mean, this whole section was backwards. Here, you took a right-hander here. You can see on the blue, on the AstroTurf on the right. You went down there. This is where the old circuit would have gone. You're going backwards from there up to where Senna S is, and then of course this section is pretty much the same as it is from the olden days. This is the only section that hasn't ever really changed, of course. There is an oval around the outer loop of this circuit as well, which you can do. You can get the, it's a modern R-Factor, I believe it is, or set of course, so you can use, I've seen a few videos from YouTubers do it in the past, but it is a beautiful place here in Brazil, and rightly so, because around a circuit like this, we don't know how many years it could be left on the calendar, but I have absolutely enjoyed every year we see it.
Every year there seems to be a lot of chaos around this track. I mean, the fans are great. The drivers seem to love coming here to Brazil. I mean, I wanted to stay for quite a while, personally, but we all know the way F1's heading. He'll probably be replaced with a California Grand Prix or something.
Jelly, meanwhile, he's on the dry tyres right now in these conditions, which are very wet. So good to see he's trying to do his best Verstappen impression. Let's hope he doesn't do it, because if he does bin it, I don't know if he'll let him on pole, but let's see what he can do then, running on board through. He comes then into the centre S. It's going to be a very slippy lap through into the centre S, down into 4th gear, gets his front end turned in. Rear end, is he going to say hello? Yeah, just about saying hello. Oh, snap from the rear as he comes through the cover to Sol. Michael Schumacher, well, about 6 people went off here in 2003 in a race where, fun fact, they only brought the intermediate tyres. They never brought the full wet. And of course, we saw the likes of Fernando Alonso and Mark Webber have that horrifying jump. There is a big snap as you come through the Dasso del Lago into 5, and then up to 6 into Ferradaula, then into La Regina, and that is turn number 7, and gets it all nice and stopped through there into it, and then into Panino, turn number 9. And there we can see Jelly. Well, he might as well do a lap time. He's going to celebrate his pole up by showing us through, isn't he?
Getting more stream coverage. It's very tactically done there from Jelly. But yeah, got pole. Did a very good lap at the start of the session when it was pretty much dry. And yeah, fully deserved of that pole, and he's showing his car control now on the dry tyres in the wet conditions.
Indeed, we're just waiting for Jelly to cross the line, and that will trigger our official end of thing. I thought he was going to crash into the pit wall then. Gets it slowed in. Does he get it slowed under 50? I think he did, to be honest. I think he might have just got it under 50 right there. What's our favourite ice cream, says Jordan? Well, it's got to be strawberry for me. Strawberry and chocolate I always like to like. I mean, don't mix them, well, mix them together is quite fun, but what's yours?
What is this, sorry?
Favourite ice cream, apparently.
Oh, definitely. I don't know, actually. The ones that you get on a holiday, they're like multicoloured. Them ones are always brilliant.
Yes.
I don't even know what the name are of them.
Well, aren't they the lollipops?
Yeah, the kind of ice cream lollipops. I don't know. Bit of a mixture.
Fruit pops, I think that I've got
Yeah.
mainly.
Something like that, anyway.
I don't like eating them at all, actually, because some of the flavours are always annoying. Melty saying he likes fudge ice cream. I can agree with fudge is nice as well. Cornish ice cream with fudge on top of it. Well, meanwhile, talking of things, Jelly on pole, Lixie in second, Jasper in astonishing third for him with his championship hopes. Ryan from Storm, Esteban for Pody Post, Saronde from Bram, and then comes Melty, Jordan, MCR, Steve Data, Leddy, Kinect, Mr. Wowster and Reserfight. Down the back alongside Aram Sam, Jordan does not set a lap time.
Yeah, very mixed up grid, I would say, for today's race. I mean, it's more really who got out first gets the best grid position, so it'll be interesting to see some of the quicker drivers maybe having to work their way through the field, and some of the ones that usually aren't in the top three having to defend for that podium. As it's a very overcast Brazil once again.
It's overcast here in Brazil. A chance of rain probably in the air like we saw earlier on, but you'll never know what's going to happen. Anything can happen here in Formula 1, and it usually does. If you're just joining us, welcome, of course, to the Sao Paulo Grand Prix here at the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache, of course, named after the legendary named after Carlos Pache, who is a name which is very difficult to pronounce at the best of times, so I apologise to that. But of course, 5 Brazilian drivers have won here in Brazil: Fittipaldi, Piquet, Senna, Massa, and of course Carlos Pache as well. And indeed, McLaren, the most successful driver around Brazil with 12. Guess who's second? It's Ferrari on 11. Alain Prost, the most successful driver here with 6 wins at Brazil in total. Remember, though, that is not this circuit. So they did race as well. It was... Where was it? It was... Rio de Janeiro for a few years. Actually, pretty much exactly where the Olympic Park is now, actually, because they tore up the old circuit to put the Olympic Park in. Well, we've seen how the Olympic Park's gone up in smokes recently, so maybe they should tear it down and put the circuit back there.
Karma.
Reutemann, the second best driver here as well on 6. Of course, best driver around this circuit, Michael Schumacher, 4 victories around here as well. Remember, first race came here in 1973, lasted around this circuit up until 1980, then it was a 10-year break. Obviously, came back in 1990 on the circuit, which you can see right now, of course, held pretty much every single race, apart, I think, one or two, of course, during the COVID pandemic, as well as hosted every race since then. And has had some spectacular moments. 2005, 7, 8, 9 and 12. The championship has been decided. Could we get another one added to that list today?
I mean, there's definitely the possibility. We've had so many places to overtake. I mean, I could do a prediction for the podium, and I can tell you now it would be completely wrong. Esteban in 6th on the mediums is definitely someone we should watch out for, I think. Compared to everyone around him, he's by far the first driver on the medium tyres. So, yeah, it's going to be a good fun, and yeah, here's to 1 hour of having to catch our breaths, I guess.
Indeed, 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 then. So, let's get ready to rumble in Brazil, then. The last car, the Aston Martin at the back then of Jordan, but it's Jelly on pole from Lixie in second, with 1 championship decided. Who can do this double then? Is it going to be a Ferrari up the top with 5 red lights? Look, but never stare. Because here in Brazil, in just a second, it's lights out, and most certainly we are off then. Jelly looks like he's got a good start there up the inside, coming on Williams. Jasper then needs to be careful as he comes around the outside into turn 1 as they all slot them through into the centre S, and it's the Ferrari alongside then the Mercedes, and there's contact. The Mercedes round is going to be caught. Oh, huge drama, the Ferrari, that's a huge accident in the background, and what drama, and that is Esteban off as long as Lixie, and that is a horrifying accident here in Brazil. The safety car, unsurprisingly, has been deployed, but that was horrendous.
Yeah, I didn't actually see it on camera. I just saw like the aftermath of it, because the two Brabham Console and Saronte were also around at turn 1. So I don't know what you saw from your screen, but it looks a very bad crash there. I don't know how. I saw Lix going side by side with Japsat. I don't know how that's ended.
They had contact a little bit. It just looked like it got on the curb for Lixie. had a time slapper and then came straight up along the circuit. And unfortunately, inadvertently, Jasper is, well, taking his teammate out by inadvertently. It wasn't his fault. That was a racing incident, but that was absolutely horrendous shot. And luckily, no more people got caught up in that one, because where that was at the speed they're going through there, that could have been a monumental pile-up.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a lot of winners and losers now with this safety car. It'd be interesting to see if anyone actually does take the gamble into the pits, as Melty actually decides to spin the wheel, I guess. Yeah, I don't know.
He's taking the wheel of fortune. Sorante and Melty in the pit lane. And apparently there might have been another car involved as well. So no ghosting was enabled. So, oh, careful, Jelly. Good boy. Don't hit the safety car. That would not be that wouldn't be good either.
That would not be ideal.
Apparently Ryan got involved in this one as well. So it might have been Ryan who tagged him around. It definitely looked like it was contact potentially of Jasper, unless Ryan got involved in it as well. So yes, there could be some arguments later on in this race, but that is a real shame for Lixie and Esteban, both on the medium and the soft, out of this race so far. And I tell you what,
somehow the two McLarens are still right next to each other on track. I don't know how they do it.
And guess what behind it's the two Alpha Tauris together as well, and now an 8th
very
and
good
9th.
start from Reservoir, actually. Yeah, 17th to 9th.
17th to 9th, capitalised on so many people making mistakes. He has now got to get a charge on through the field to see what he can do, because remember, the championship can be decided here in Brazil as long as he outscores Jasper by 15 points or more. It will switch to him as things stand right now, of him getting, what, 3 points, I believe it is. Because remember, it goes down to 12, 3 or 4 points, and of course, Jasper getting 18. That will bring the deficit down, if this race got stopped right now, to 4 points. And that would be extremely interesting. Now, I've just received a video of what has happened to Lixie. So riding aboard as I'm looking, as you're under the safety car, comes through turn 1 into 2. He's alongside the Ferrari, gets a wibble on, has a tank slapper, comes across the circuit into the path of the Ferrari, and that, unfortunately, is a very big accident indeed for poor old Lixie.
Yeah, I've just seen that now as well. I mean, yeah, it's a very big crash.
On the curb, took too much curb. Rear end swapped around. See, we can't show you his Esteban is swearing in the chat from his mistake. He was blaming Ryan. Of course, Ryan wasn't at fault, so we'll retract our statement saying Ryan was involved potentially. I did think he was, but you never know anything can happen in Formula 1. It was a very tricky camera shot to get. But Ryan back in third. I tell you what, though, Jasper in second. He's gonna hope he can cream past Jelly as soon as he can.
Yeah, Jasper just needs to get in front and run away with this race as much as he can. Safety car should be in this lap, I believe. Everyone's caught up, so yeah, be interesting to see what Jelly's pace and everyone else's pace is actually on these dry tyres, because we haven't really still yet to see what these good drivers' pace is like yet. We're, what,
Safety
20 minutes in?
Right now? There we go.
Yes.
Right now. I say this every time. I mean, it was pretty much going to come in around. Like, it always comes in the third sector normally. As let's get ready to go. Now, I'm going to ride and look here at Jasper, because he's going to have to try. If he holds back ever so slightly and tries to preempt what Jelly's going to do and then try and get a jump on him, that is what he's going to have to do, because he needs this win right now, doesn't he?
Yeah. I think... Oh, and Jasper...
Someone's off. Who's that? Aledi off in the background. And yellow flags. Aledi in the wall before we've even got going. There's drama already. As free turn 1.
Connects to let Reservoir through.
Yeah,
understandable. Yeah, we'll get back underway. I mean, kind of everything happened at the back of the field once again there.
Two McLarens going at it. Nothing's going to hold back right now. And look here at Reservoir. Now, we know how patient he can be during these racing, just taking off his opponents one by one. He has won the last 2 Grand Prix. He won in Canada. And remember, he also won in Hungary as well. And he is going to be a man who wants to wrap up this championship, doesn't want to make a mistake. Mr. Rouster, meanwhile, battling alongside there That is the Mercedes of Steve Day. Up the inside, he comes into turn number 7. And he's got that one A-OK for the time being. But up front, it is Jasper closing up on Jelly. But Jelly holds this line. But with the help of ERS, let's see if we're going to see a move as someone off in the background. And that there's Steve Day now off.
Yeah, getting overtaken by Welsh seems to just flustered him maybe a bit. And it's unfortunate for the Mercedes driver as he's now got a 7-second gap to the entire field, which is not what you want, really.
Indeed, Jelly just holding the line right now. He still leads Jasper in second. Ryan from Pody Post further down the field. The 2 McLarens ahead of the 2 Alpha Tauris now, like I said, in the switch reversal behind them is the Red Bull. So I suppose I could say the 3 Red Bull drivers in this order so far at the top, well, in 8th, 9th and 10th position so far. And let's see what they can do. Mr. Walster, who, let's be honest, he could have been right up here. He's not missed a few races here and there. He is still not too far away. He's not in the championship fight. But, well, I think, well, he mathematically is in the championship fight, but realistically not in the championship fight.
Yeah.
So he's got nothing to lose. He's up behind Connect right now, but up to the top 2 then. 4 times between them. This could be a real opportunity now for Jasper to pass Jelly.
Yeah, DRS gets a nail with this lap, so I'm sure Jasper will be waiting for that and to cruise on by. He seems to be able to stick with that Alfa Romeo very easily. Sets the fastest lap as well. Ryan B doing wonders for him almost as well, holding the rest of the field up as well.
Let's
All
see
going Jasper's way.
Bite of the cherry then. DRS is enabled. There it is. Rear wing flap opens. Jordan meanwhile battling a Bram on console. How aggressive does Jasper be? The answer is that aggressive because he decided to back out. Wasn't close enough right there. Further down the field looking to see Rezify trying to close up to the McLaren. In between them now, Red Bull, or Mr. Welster ahead of Connects, and Connects' buffer from Rezify now dropped behind, and now Rezify's going to have to try and get a move on. He does not need to be losing positions here to any other car with this championship less close right now. And let's see if he can try and dispatch MCR. Be brave to make a lunge up the inside here into turn number... I think it was turn 10, isn't it? Turn 11 and 12 coming down here as off goes Melty in the background up to the top 2. Meanwhile, this here is Jasper with DRS, and let's see. Where's he going to even need the DRS to make the move? He goes to the inside. Jelly's just going to stick to the outside. He's not going to fight this one too heavily because he might get the second bite of the DRS later on, but that looked a lot more of an easier move than it normally would have there from Jelly.
Yeah.
As there, Rezify passing MCR, and that is crucial for his championship hopes. But the McLaren trying to stick with him. Then we'll get the second bite of the cherry. Rezify having a bit of a poor exit. This could come back to bite him.
Does have DRS luckily enough.
Well, he does, yeah.
It seems just safe. I don't know how he got DRS for being 1 second away, but it's a bit lucky there maybe, Rezify, and he's up into P7. Once again has a car between himself and Welter as they both work their way back towards the title rival Japsa.
Indeed, if you're just joining us, where have you been for starters? And welcome to a very close moment there as Esteban devastated is an understatement. And that is very much a statement and a half right there. And poor old Esteban caught up in absolute carnage. Nothing he could have done. And it would have just been one of those moments where you see a car and that's it. Your hopes and dreams are just dust and smoke and nothing you can do right there.
The Storm seems to be took a bit of a Kimi Raikkonen line there through the penultimate corner in a way, I guess.
MCR, is he having a look here on Rezify? Is he going to have a lunge here at turn number 1? I thought for a second he was looking. Backs up, but Rezify doesn't look like he's got the outright pace. Is he in a second? No, he is not. So he's going to come under threat right now.
Is he still using that default setup, which we obviously did mention, I think? He forgot to load the setup, so that may be one of the reasons why his pace just isn't there today.
Yeah, it definitely could be an argument for him. He's just going to have to hope for the absolute best here today. He needs to score the cars behind us there. Mr. Welster coming under pressure then from Connect. Connect's trying to go around the outside. No, thank you, sir, says Mr. Welster. Opens the door up and says no, thank you very much. And crosses him slightly back down through the back lane as you can see Mr. Welster now trying to close up. MCR still just trying to close up to the back of Rezify, who's just outside that 1 second. And it's going to be painful because this is a long straight with the help of ERS, with the help of DRS as well. And let's see, he's going to take off the ERS. Now he'll re-enable it. And it's going to be like taking candy from a baby through the straight up front, meanwhile.
Can well to get past at the same time.
Yeah, look.
Down the inside he goes. He gets the move done.
Whilst the rock.
Didn't
But is he going to
really
come back?
I don't think he'd be able to. I think Welch's got that much more ERS. He's played that to perfection as the Red Bull driver.
Indeed he has. Further up the field, by the way, Ryan B has just been overtaken by Party Pass. Look at these three cars battling together. It is as yellow flags, and there is Melty who's dropped it on the exit of the out of turn 3. And that's a shame there. He's dropped it through the cover to Soul as we look here at the battle for 3rd, 4th and 5th position so far. It is a Ferrari 1, 2, 3. Meanwhile, then comes the Mercedes-powered Williams, and then comes the Ferrari-powered Haas, and then, of course, the 2 Mercedes-powered McLarens following suit as well as Ferrari. Looking like a very good day here in Brazil so far. As further down the field, Bramon Console battling away and getting past Connect, who's gone off the road at turn. He's gone off, what's that? Malingo there, so turn 13, turn 11, my apologies, down there. So he's dropped it somewhere. Is he coming in the pit lane, I reckon,
as well? To get past MCR.
Indeed he has. I tell you what, this is really changing this championship perfection right now, isn't it? Because currently, Reservoir is getting 3 points so far. Jasper on the 25. This is going to be, unless Jasper has an absolute torrid time, he can just kind of afford to play a little bit of the cool game. He wants to stay ahead of Jelly as well, who is sticking with him, to be fair. The top two staying together. Party Post down in 3rd. We are on lap 10 of 36. 26 laps still to come. And if you're just joining us, welcome along to League of Europe TV. Don't forget as well to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you are new, as we look here to see Connect has dropped it down at turn number. He's dropped on the exit of the pit lane, has he not?
Yeah, I think he's dropped it in the pit lane, and then the game does that brilliant thing where it's just like, yes, you're going to respawn in the middle of the track. It's a very, very safe thing to do.
Well, luckily no one was near him, because we don't like seeing cars wiped out this race. You can see Jelly, meanwhile, staying up behind his fellow compatriot team member, well, the other Italian team, and it's the Italian team of Alfa Romeo chasing the Italians of the Scuderia. Following through is that battle there you can see between Reservoir and MCR, and looked like as well Bramon Contra starting to get involved in this as well. Reservoir, has he made a mistake somewhere, because he's dropping further back, as look at where the likes of Mr. Wowster have gone up the road, and you can see Bramon Console a little bit wide. That's going to allow Jordan potentially the old switcheroo. Is he going to try to go left to right? And he's not going to get through from there. Has to sit back right now then in Brazil. But like we said, this is not looking like the way Reservoir wants this to go. Brilliant for us though, because we will have a battle in the last race of Abu Dhabi as things stand.
A duel in the desert, as some say. I mean, yeah, at the minute, Reservoir just... I do feel for him in a way if he's got a default setup. It is a horrible thing to have to deal with everyone, when you know everyone's got quicker setups around you. So he's just got to stay with it for now, I think, and just hope for the best.
Indeed. Is he going to get with the DRS? Is he going to round past MCR? MCR's going to go to the inside. Whoa, that got a bit close between those two. As he almost, I think he was trying to go and wait to get past the second bit. Almost ran into the back of him. Through he went, as the Naram Sam has come in the pit lane, I believe, or having a battle down the back, as well as now the inside comes Reservoir. This one should be a little bit more easier this time around. Gets it nice and stopped on his mark into turn 4, and away he will go. But down the field, by the way, we'll have a look at this battle between these guys there. You can see Steve Day getting almost on the grass. He tries to get past Naram Sam, who is holding his line. Toronto, meanwhile, just up the road from the pair of them as well.
Yeah, Ryan B picking up the first penalty in the front part of the train. That one seems to be very important at the minute. I mean, no one around him has the penalty. He may even lose the position to Reservoir as well, which is 3 or 4 positions there for the Williams driver, who's currently sat in P4 and just lost DRS to Poldipos in front of him. So Storm should be able to cruise past as he goes into the pit lane. Yeah,
I was just looking here at Jelly, meanwhile, because he is still close up behind He's still right there, and this is getting close. Yellow
Connect.
flag as Connect has dropped it. And again, I wonder if he's picked up some floor damage from going over the curbs too much somewhere. That's always a possibility. Mr. Walster, meanwhile, he is on a flyer right now with DRS. He's going to get Storm up the inside into turn number 4, and there he goes. Now up another position for him, and this is turning into a little bit of a storm. This is the
Purple
drive.
sector 1.
This is exactly the drive that Reservoir was probably hoping for. Yellow flag,
Yeah.
and there is Connect off yet again. And one thing we do hope, we don't get a safety car.
Yeah, definitely. Safety car at this stage would be very painful for the likes of ERT Jordan, who's working his way through
Oh,
the pit.
and off into the wall, and there is Connect, and is that going to be the safety car? Front wing's gone. And
Should
let's
be all
see,
right.
we're going to get lucky. As in he comes, he's got floor damage here, hasn't he? Connects, I feel
Yeah.
I can see that one, because the rear end just snapped in a way you don't normally expect. Are we going to see any of the top 2 come in right now, or the top 3? Now they're all staying out so far. As you look through the field, as you can see, Reservoir there in the background, you can see MCR coming in the pit lane. Meanwhile, he took a very wide line, gets it nice stopped on his mark, 50 miles an hour as he gets it slowed up. No one else behind him coming in alongside him as well.
Yeah, it's about the pit window now for the soft medium strategy. Simple. Should be a simple one stop for most drivers today, as MCR goes on the hards actually. Well, as I say that, I mean, yeah. Once again, doing the commentator curse thing that I seem to enjoy.
Yeah, indeed, a little favourite thing, but it is still Jasper leading this race from Jelly. We've got a shimmer right now as out comes MCR. He's going to be right behind Melty on those fresher tyres, and he will be out to go very much to the end of this race as well. If you're wondering, by the way, we had 3 retirements out of this race. That Esteban, Lexi, and Ledi, who dropped it under the safety car restart. No, we still don't know exactly what happened down there. I'm sure we'll potentially find out later on, but definitely some carnage down there.
Yeah, I mean, the safety car resource full of chaos as Polypoles jumps into the pit lane, takes advantage of Jelly not coming in front of him, and Walter now onto the podium.
Indeed he is then. The top 2 meanwhile, look at this. Jelly up behind Jasper still, and you can just see that he's not fighting him too much. If he was wanting it, he would be right in the slipstream here. Jelly's
Yeah.
just holding back currently, isn't he, I reckon?
It definitely seems that way. He's got that 3-second gap to the cars behind. He knows Japsa has got quite good pace around here, and he's just chilling, really, isn't he?
I mean, well, you can see where's Reservoir out of all of this currently as he comes out the pit lane. He's got a few people ahead of him still yet to stop. He's gonna be pretty much in this battle here with Melty. He doesn't want to get caught up with Melty because that will be big moments for him, but he's just ahead of him. Stayed out another lap, he might behind MCR there, and that really would have put a hamper on his title blows again, wouldn't it? But like I said, down in 12th with that default setup we believe he has, it's just gonna be damage limitation right now, isn't it? We've got
Yeah.
20 laps to go.
He seems to be coping with it all right for now, and obviously every lap he does do on this default setup, he will get more used to it, so he should theoretically get quicker and quicker as the race goes on. So that'll be a promising sign for him.
Side by side between Melty and MCR, and that looked very close between those two, but both managed. I said potentially that Connect might have damage. Well, he's got to prove me wrong because he hasn't got damage. He's got the fast lap. As in comes Jasper, in comes Jelly. You can see them exiting the pit lane right now. Where are they going to come out in terms of clean air, you wonder? They're going to come out very close to the Ramsam, and we've got a yellow flag. And who's that
actually in between
for? Melty. And what has happened here to Melty on the pit straight? Has he dropped it? Has there been contact somewhere?
You would you have to assume so because he's got no front wing and it's on the middle of the straight.
And he was with MCR, he was with Daniel Reservoir, so has there been contact with those guys, I'm wondering now?
It might have been. He would have had the DRS on MCR in front of him, so that may be where he's got it actually.
Whilst up, coming in the pit lane right now, this will be for a set of medium tyres to go the next 20 laps to the end of this race. Jordan stays out. He's got another couple of laps until he can set on the soft tyres. Behind him, meanwhile, there is the AlphaTauri, and the AlphaTauri coming to unlap themselves there and up the inside he go. Luckily, the coaching system's on because I've seen cars on lapping each other here at Turn 1. It's not gone well for the race leader, historically. Though, to be fair, Jordan will get the DRS back from
himself. This is obviously... Oh, well, you're on about Jordan, never mind. I was on about Japsa and Steve Day and Sironte are having a lovely battle.
You can see there, talking of them, it's Sironte, Steve Day, and these guys. Jasper right now is probably just being very cautious. He doesn't want to get himself involved in this too much, but he's coming for the inside, doesn't want to be careful. Oh, there's contact, and that's the one thing he doesn't need there. A big wobble for Sironte, and this is what we feared could happen here for Jasper. Is he being too aggressive? Does he need to make these moves when he's coming for it? Down the inside, he gets the car stopped, gives each other enough room, but Sironte's going to come back through and retake that position.
Yeah, I don't know if it's on your screen as well, but his ERS seems to be stuck on overtake.
It definitely is very much on overtake, you are right. As here comes Jelly, and he's going to go battle. Oh, he's hit the rear. Sironte doesn't know where he's going. And are we going to see a moment here down into turn number 1 as a Ferrari down the inside? The Alfa Romeo trying to come through as well as Ride. Goes the Aston Martin, through goes the Ferrari, through goes the Alfa Romeo on the outside as well. And with the double bite of the cherry, this could be big trouble. Here comes Jelly, here comes the Aston Martin up the inside. They're free abreast, and round goes Sironte. And there wasn't going to be any room through there for him to come through. Somehow doesn't end up in contact with Jasper too much. I hope he hasn't got damage. As Storm there, trying to get past Pody Post.
Yeah, everything seemed to happen there. Jelly's managed to get through on the Ferrari driver, but I don't know for how long is...
Yeah, rest is still on.
Sticking very well. Yeah, it seems to be... He may have a problem there.
Is it glitched out, you reckon? I've seen it before where it's done that. Where it just gets stuck on, you can't turn it off unless you pause and put it on auto, but then you lose a lot of performance. So, it's going to be running with basically no ERS. He'll get the power through the straight. Is off there. Is flipping a Ramsam who's dropped it, and want to be careful on ghosting here as loads of cars come around the past you right now. Here comes Sironte, and as well as almost cutting across there. Yellow flags, and who's that off the road? It's Connect. Is that going to be a safety car?
He is out of the race, so it could easily be if he wanted to. Whoever he's decided against it.
To drop off, and is it going to safety car it?
It's very similar to where Lixon Esteban had a crash to begin with, so
no safety car.
Not sure what's happened there.
So that might be because he's lapped down. It's decided no safety car for him, Mr. Wowster. Meanwhile, he's stuck in this little bit of a sandwich right now. He's got Pody Post, Storm, and as well the likes of Ryan B ahead of him. Then he's got a bit of a gap to the top two, really, in this race. That is Jelly and Jasper. We are waiting for Jordan in the next couple of laps. We believe by lap 20 to lap 22. Potentially he might be coming in, or he might be stretching it a little bit further as well.
Yeah, a lot of different strategies going on here. Japsa and Jelly still battling out. I mean,
there is Jasper. Is he coming through up the inside? He is going up through up the inside. Has he got the car to stop?
Doesn't have the ERS, does he?
He doesn't have the ERS. This is just going to be painful for him because Jelly's going to be able to come straight back here. There's no doubt about it. He's saved a lot of ERS. He's got a lot of ERS to push if he wants to. You can see Jasper, he's covering the inside line just to say, please don't overtake me. Jelly obliges. Meanwhile, Storm and Ryan B going battle area into turn 4 on the outside. Is the Williams on the inside goes Storm. Is we going to see him coming back from the outside?
Coming back.
And this is going to be brave stuff around the outside. Everybody gets it job done, or has he? No, he hasn't. Back up the inside comes the Haas. And back up the inside will go the Williams into the next corner. As long as he's got the nose up the inside, he'll have the nose. And guess what? Now it's Storm's turn to have the inside line. Rouster losing the rear up the inside. And again comes the Williams. But this time can't quite do it. Mr. Rouster had a big wobble there, though, didn't he?
Yeah, he's lost the position to Pody Post there, but I'm sure he'd rather lose one position than the entire front wing or something. Yeah. As Redify has made his way past Jordan as well.
Yeah, indeed he has. He's starting to get back through this field ever so slightly right now, but look at the gap up front to the likes. He's now in the top 8, which is good where he is. That'll be 6 points, I believe, for him. Remember, it's the top 12 that scores points here in League of Europe. So he should be scoring, I believe, 6 points this afternoon, which is exactly what he needs to be doing. As you can see, everyone else battling together. We are still waiting for Jordan to come in the pit lane, who's got a pretty decent lead right now so far, hasn't he?
Yeah. Jordan doing everything right so far. He's doing what George Russell did at Miami. I think he's just driving around waiting for a safety car to happen. Worst case, he'll just put on the softs and have a lovely little drive back through the field at the end.
Most certainly indeed. We are looking, meanwhile, further down the field at this battle still between 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th. Now, tell you what, Reservoir's not too far back either, is he?
I mean, if these lot continue to battle the way they have, I mean, Reservoir, yes, he does have a penalty, which will have a serious impact on his finishing position, but if they have a little battle or a safety car comes out,
Jasper
he is right back in this fight.
Has let Jelly through right there. Now, what has happened here? That was a very slow straight line right now for Jasper. That might just be because he's got no DRS.
Jelly's almost got him out of DRS just from that one corner as well, so...
Look at this between Peldipost and Mr. Wowser going battle here. Mr. Wowser with DRS, Peldipost with DRS, the outside line into turn number 4. Up the road comes the Alfa Romeo and the Williams. And look at these guys, they're all battling right now. It's like Noah's Ark 2x2, as there you can see Peldipost backing out. And meanwhile,
Ryan B gets through.
Storm and Ryan battling still. Just about, but like you said, Jasper dropping back behind. Yellow flag, and that is Melty now off. Safety car. Now Jordan is absolutely laughing straight to the bank here. I wonder how many people go for the softs. Well, I mean, we've got 14 laps to go. That'll be possible on these tyres. I mean,
definitely possible.
3 laps under the safety car means we'll have around about 11 laps to go, so... It's a no-brainer right now to settle on a set of soft tyres. Are we going to see everyone in as well behind? The likes of Jelly and Japsa? No. I'll tell you what, if I was Reservoir right now, I'd be coming in.
Storm's in. Wouter's in. Peldipost is in. Reservoir is in. Everyone but the front 2 have came in.
Yeah, that's going to be... a little bit as Bramwell Console 3-second time, only for 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane as the flurry of action comes in the pit there. But this is the only thing Reservoir can do in this situation, isn't it? Yeah,
Reservoir's just got to follow what everyone else does. It's perfect ideas. Ryan B's actually gone onto the mediums.
A few are on the mediums, a few are going on the softs. Now, we are in this kind of situation where the mediums can make it, the softs can make it. Both are going to be very worn. But who is going to be doing what?
It's going to be interesting, and one thing, the person I would not want to be right now is Japsa, where his ERS isn't filling back up. He's going to be eaten alive, I believe, from these soft drivers behind him now.
Yeah, this could be troublesome for them. Right now, we are under the safety car, Jelly and Jasper. Jasper, remember, he's still burning ERS. He has got a fault with the ERS. He's going to have Jordan behind him. We'll have Ryan, Storm, Mr. Wowster, Reservoir down there in 7th position. And this is just what Reservoir needs. Jasper with a potential blunder here. And that's, he thinks these soft tyres can't make it. I don't know why he's not come in.
Yeah, I mean, it's understandable why he didn't come in, because he maybe thought everyone else wouldn't come in either, but I think the front 2, I think the likes of Ryan B saw the front 2 not come in. He's like, well, it makes sense for us to pit now, and everyone has to follow. It's such a short pit stop around Brazil anyway, it makes sense. And, well, we've got a very big race on our hands here, last 10 laps, almost.
It looked like Melty potentially had a collision at some point with MCR during the race earlier on as well. Bramwell Console's come in to serve his 5-second stop-go penalty, and so if you're wondering why he's dropped in the
back onto the softs as well. I think he was on mediums, so...
Yeah, no brainer for him there. Just get on the mediums if you have that penalty and then get the softs back on. A very quick switch around for him so he can go back on his merry way. Safety car. This will mean staying out a little bit longer.
Unless he's able to catch up this lap, so he might be able to. Depends how slow the safety car decides to go, but it does seem quite unlikely that. So yeah, I think one more lap.
He might just get to the back of the field, actually. It'll be close. I mean, it can decide anywhere from here to pretty much the DRS zone. As long as he's in that DRS, as long as he's with them, it will come in. This is normally where it would say right here. If it's going to come in, if you can catch him up to pretty much here, then we'll get the safety car in this lap. It'll be a very late call if it does. I think it's going to stay out one more lap then.
One more lap.
It is coming in this lap. That's a very late call. In it comes. This is going to catch them all off guard, isn't it? This is going to be interesting.
They're going to have to run it up to the line here, probably.
Here we go then, 10-lap showdown here in Brazil. And who's going to go first? Jelly's waiting. And Jelly goes, and they all get away then.
Storm's got Ryan.
Today. And Storm's got Ryan as they're all battling through the field. Here is Jordan trying to come through the field. It's further down the field. Steve J dropping down the order as they come through into the Curva de Solden for the 25th time.
Reservoir and Wouter almost side by side going into the end of Sector 1 here. Can he make the move around the outside? Be very impressive if he does so. Giving as much room as he can, Wouter. Gets the inside line now, Reservoir. Can he get it? He does so. Lovely move from Reservoir and into P6.
Yeah, this is what he needs then. P6 for him as his championship rival in some trouble with an ERS fault, with issues as well. He's got the likes of Jordan up behind him. He's got the likes of Ryan up behind him as well. And this is all just potentially unfolding for Jasper's championship aspirations. It looks so good so far. If the safety car didn't come out for at least a top two, but look, he's got no ERS. All the deployment news. And here comes Jordan to take the position. And he's getting swamped here as Ryan battles with Storm. And these guys are going to come look at Jasper, helpless in a straight line, because he's getting caught in a rapid raider knots.
Yeah, it's actually gone to the stage where the full deployment is getting used halfway through the lap. So even if he had ERS used, which he did, he's not even allowed to use it anymore. The game's just not letting him. And it's commiserations for Japsa, but what I'm sure Wouter and Reservoir are not too unhappy looking at this.
Indeed, confirming what I fear, that Jasper does have the Escalates there, which I've had before. Ran a race, I remember it was at Singapore, which that was a nightmare. I will say, as here is Jordan, doesn't want to get himself tripped up into any incidents here as he tries to get past Jelly. Jelly doing so far so good. He's 11 laps to go to win a race. Second, he might win of a season. He hasn't scored many points. I think he's only got about 27, 28 points this season, though I think probably, and more likely, that lead he's got about his first round.
Once again, copycat move from what Jordan's done to Japsa last before. Storm makes his way into the podium places.
Jordan takes the lead as well.
Yeah. You saw that one coming, really. The soft tyres are just so much quicker at this stage of the race. I don't think they'll be able to do anything.
Look at Jasper. He's got no ERS to fight with. He's using as much ERS he can use. But he's just got nothing. It's basically like, what is it, 160 horsepower, I think it is, these ERS systems?
It's a massive amount. He's already on zero if you actually ride on board with him.
Oh no, looking at it as well.
Must be absolutely heartbreaking for him, just being absolutely helpless in a straight line.
And he's now into fourth behind him. Look at Reservoir, not too far away. And look at the clouds starting to come over here in Brazil. It definitely is clouding over. We believe no chance of rain. But there was a slight chance of rain. But I tell you what, we're going to be seeing probably the likes of Ryan coming up alongside as well. Because look at the deployment. 2 bars, 1 bar. It will time out down here.
Wouter's looking to get the move done on Reservoir once again. These two have been battling all race. Wouter's got a bare exit. Can Reservoir defend it well enough? Not got much ERS to play with, and Wouter's just going to go clean around the outside.
Oh, is that Ryan off the road there? Just up the road of them as well. It is. Ryan's gone off the road there. Contact between them as well as there's going to be a bit of a swamping here. Reservoir having contact on the back of Ryan. Beat him. That's allowed the initiative to Sorrente. Mr. Wouter now coming up the inside of Ryan, and he gets a job done. Has there been any damage?
Well. I'm pretty sure Poldypoles has damage. I'm not sure about anyone else, however.
Front right end plate, yeah, like you're right. Front right end plate's gone. He's, in fact, pulling out of the way to get out of the way of all of them as well, which is nice to see.
Yeah, right thing to do, unfortunately. As now, we do have quite a nice, interesting battle for the race lead. Storm versus Jordan. Storm's been running in that pack for 3rd to 6th for most of the race, and now he's got a chance to take the lead of the race out of nowhere, really, in the Haas. He has the DRS, he has the overspeed. As Redify gets another pen.
He's waiting. He doesn't want to pass. It's like Jeddah from last year, isn't it? They just don't want to pass each other, do they? Or even Jeddah from this year. No one wants to pass each other. They're using DRS tactics. Here is Jasper just ahead of Wowster. Wowster's coming through though, as well. And there, well, it's like taking candy from a baby. To be fair, isn't it?
Absolutely flies past. It looks like the Red Bull versus Ferrari this year, to be honest, with the straight line speed difference there. As Wowster on a charge once again. I've seen him do this so many times today, it seems, and once again back into P4, and probably looking at a win as well here.
Yeah, never count him out, can you? I mean, Mr. Wowster, I mean, he's got the top 3 ahead of him, Jelly, Storm and Jordan, so there could be an opportunity, and there is Bramwell Console out of the race, and is that going to be another safety car?
Yes.
It is.
Now what do we do?
Surely, are we going to see anyone gambling for another set of slicks, another set of softs? Surely not right now. It'll be a gamble. I mean, Jasper's got to stay out. He's got no, unless he's going to try and throw it away and try and gamble. Obviously, if it's going to come in, he stays out. They're all going to stay out, really, haven't they? Because anyone comes in, they're going to drop back down the order. I say MCR comes in the pit lane. He's going to go for a set of soft tyres because he's on the mediums.
Makes sense.
Fair enough. 6 laps to go then. So what? We're going to have a 3-lap showdown here, aren't we?
Yep. Maybe it's going to be like a 5-lap sprint race at the end, so I'm expecting a lot of chaos if the 5-lap sprint races are anything to go by.
Well, you could say don't go anywhere right now, couldn't you? This is going to be enthralling, isn't it, these last couple of laps?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly have no idea who's going to take the lead, where everyone's going to finish. Ryan B, Saronte and Reservoir are going to be very worried with the penalties they have. And yeah, it's just, I can't see that anyone staying in the same position they currently are by the end of the race, to be honest.
So what this does mean for Jasper. Now, I don't know if anyone can say this. Can he put it on automatic for the ZRS? Would that fix the issue?
I'm not too sure.
I wonder if Esteban
I'm not experienced. I've not experienced it myself, to be honest, so I wouldn't know.
Esteban's in the chat if he's asked him and see if that changes anything, if it works. But it can work. It's happened to me before. You can change it to automatic and then sometimes back to manual, and it will trigger itself off.
You may as well try. I mean, I don't know if he's allowed to go AI on the safety car as well, though. That's a problem.
Oh, is Ryan B going off the road nearly at turn 1? As he gets it back on there. That was very odd there. 6 laps to go, 5 laps to go now as well. So we're coming to the end of this race. I'll tell you what, Jordan, Storm, Jelly, top 3 have done very well. Wowster up to 4th. Real gainers at this race. We haven't looked at it too much. Is Mr. Wowster up 12? Jordan up 18. He started last in this race, by the way. He is now leading here in Brazil. And you know what I mentioned earlier about a last
driver of the day. Yeah. Driver of the day, I think it quite clearly has to be him there, really. I mean, he's driven the perfect race. He's stuck with the soft runners on the mediums. He's done a George Russell in a way. He's hoped for a safety car and this came his way. But even then, he's managed to get past the medium runners with quite ease.
Yeah, most certainly. I mean, if Jasper is, I mean, surely he's allowed to pause if it's to solve his glitch.
I would say so, but
does
it's
he
what
know?
the stewards say. I'm not sure.
Does he want to risk it as well? That's the thing. But I mean, this is just going to be agony for him, isn't it? I mean, the only thing he's got is the likes of Ryan, Saronte, Reservoir have all got penalties. Safety car in this lap, so we're going to get what, a 5-lap showdown down here in Brazil with the 13 drivers.
I can't see Jasper losing any more positions anyway with the people behind him, unless Steve Day or Jordan manage to get through. But yeah, back underway here. Jordan sets the pace, becomes a safety car. When will he go?
Let's see, he's going to go early.
He's gone.
And away he goes then, and Storm's following him through, and Storm's really close up behind as he comes through into turn number 1. Not going to take Alonso straight away. Further down the field, Mr. Wowster behind as well of the Alfa Romeo. The Alfa Romeo and the Haas, meanwhile, the Haas starting to close up on the back of Jordan, but I don't think we're going to see him move straight away. Then anyone else further down the field lining up moves. We're looking to see Reservoir behind Saronte, can't quite do it. Steve Day and Jordan, meanwhile, getting passed by MCR. Remember, MCR on those softer tyres, and he could be one to watch out for as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's all a bit of a waiting game now. Obviously, the DRS will come back online lap 34, I believe.
Yep, should do, 34, 35.
So, has Jenny's made a mistake? Wowter's through.
Yeah, Wowter through then, and that is Jelly with his trademark little mistake here and there. He's on these very old medium sides. As you can see, Jasper losing the rear end slightly as well. He's used all his ERS and he's just got to pray for a slipstream. And if you look at Jelly welting away. And this is going to be Ryan B and Toronto are going to come through at a rate of knots. Here comes one, here comes the other. They almost touch down the straight. And it's literally, this is absolutely painful for him.
Yeah, absolutely. He can do nothing, Japsa, and the next two drivers that will have a chance at overtaking him is his championship rival. And that's going to be absolutely heartbreaking for him, I think.
The inside comes Saronte. He can't quite do it right yet. Next up will be, of course, like I said, Jasper afterwards. And this is just turning into agony. He was leading this race so comfortably earlier on. He might have had it in the bag. Then all of a sudden the ARS went kaput. And he's dropped down through the field. And in the harshest possible way, this is going to be joy and tribulations potentially for Reservoir, because he's going to have all the opportunities here to really just be happy, because he was in a situation early on where his championship lead could have been nothing. And now he's going to come into it and find his championship lead could very much be still on.
As once again, we're going to see it once again now. Saronte all over the back of Japsa. And now Reservoir will be coming through as well. Will he get him in time? It's going to be... No, a bit too far away, but he'll have the soft tyre advantage. He'll have more ERS to play with. He'll have DRS as well now. Will we see a change in positions here, even if it means nothing at the end for the race results due to the penalties?
This is a symbolic moment here today. Then we are looking then at a potential battle between the top two of the standings. And it's just, like I said, this is just heartbreaking right now for Jasper. He's still in the championship fight. He's still there. He's going to be, as things stand, he will actually close the gap up a little bit more. I think
Reservoir actually will drop out the points, I think.
Yeah, he might drop out the points. As long as he can stay ahead of him, he still will be fine. But this is not the afternoon Jasper wants. He's just trying to follow. Oh, he loses the rear. He loses the rear, and it could be Reservoir's opportunity. And then see, and he's through straight away. And now dropping down the order even more. We're on that 35 or 36 as Jasper has a real mistake. And now the three guys ahead of, remember, all have the penalties. But we're going to have Steve, MCR and Jordan now trying to come through.
Yeah, I mean, if you look, Steve, MCR and Jordan are looking the last few laps, they're going to get an opportunity here to overtake him. And it's just absolute chaos, as Jordan has actually been overtaken by Storm as well.
Yeah, we have just
and
missed
Wowter
it.
Here, 70% ERS compared to the others on about 10. Could we see Wowter do a double overtake here? Could we see Jelly get on the podium?
Oh, well, you say that. He's hit the rear of him. And Jelly... Oh, I thought for a second he was going to have a lunge there, and he's not. But like you said, Wowster, he just hit the rear of him. That could have cost him a little bit of time here. As in the sky, it's still dark, and I thought I saw a spot of rain ever so slightly on the horizon. But you could put it, there's cricket sounds in the stadium for Jasper. But it's a roar up front as he's been overtaken up by Steve Day. Here's the top two. Here comes Jordan to the inside to take the lead then here on lap 36 of 36. We're on the last lap today. here today as well as here is Mr. Wouter trying to come
Wouter
through, but
gets
gets
a
a penalty. He gets a penalty. Here comes Storm to come back then to the outside. Can he get it late braking? It'll be Brave, as there you can see on the inside. Don't come together, boys, as they run so close then, as they come through turn number 5, up to 6. They bang to the inside. He's got to give each other room. They just do so. They get so close to contact, and still Jordan leads this race. He's going to have half a lap to go.
And these guys are going to get DRS up to the line, so it's not all over yet. Jordan, he's done the move for now, which was a brilliant move around the outside there, as he should be all right now. Wouter getting a penalty last minute as well. Absolutely awful unfortunate scenes for him. He'll carry on anyway.
They're going to burn their DRS, then they're going to burn their ERS. Who's got the most then? With DRS, it's enabled now, but I think Jordan, from last to first, he'll win here in Sao Paulo. Wouter cross the line in second, won't get it. He'll drop only to 4th. Jelly on the podium, Steve Day into 5th, but one of the championship top. Where are they in this standings, I'm wondering? Is it going to be closer, or is it going to be further away?
I could honestly not tell you. I have no idea where they are. As we will see the podium celebration now. ERT Jordan last to first, Brazil. He has completed it. Very impressive from the Aston Martin driver. And a fully deserved victory from him.
Indeed it is, so it's a British 1-2 then, and well, he's channeled it into Lewis Hamilton from last to absolutely first here in Brazil.
Jasper finished 10th.
It is Jordan then who wins this race as we wait for the countdown. You just alluded to Jordan does finish 10th. Jasper finishes 10th, yeah. So Jordan from Storm, Jelly, Wouter. Then comes Steve, MCR, Ryan, Jordan, Pody Post, Jasper will pick up, 3 points? 2, and then it's 1 for Reservoir.
Around about that.
So it will close down to 12 points. It will close slightly, so damage limitation, but that could have been a lot better for Jasper. He's going to be kicking himself. So Ronte 11th, Reservoir from the Ramsam, Bramon console, Melty Connect, Aledi, Lixie, and Esteban at the back.
Yeah, I've added some of the players to the party. I don't know who is able to join, who isn't. So I think it's ERT Jordan actually who has to accept a request or something to join the party. But yeah, I mean, as we said at the start of the race, absolute chaos is what we wanted, and we certainly got it.
Indeed we have, as there is one of the top guys in here. It is Mr. Jelly, as he's the first one. Someone go to Jelly, and the question is, can we hear Jelly on the stream? Is the ultimate question. Someone in the chat can confirm it. But we shall talk to Jelly. Back on the podium again. You're having a current moment where you're on the podium or you're not in the race pretty much currently. And a bit of a surprise for you there, Mr. Wasley getting a pen at the end. But how was that race with that battle with your compatriot Jasper?
I think the soft synth was very good. Jasper and me did pull out the DRS of the third head, but I didn't drive out of the DRS, so Jasper, so bit of tire saving there, but so pit to medium. It was fine, but unfortunately that second safety car I didn't pit, but everyone behind me did, so everyone was on fresh softs, and they're pulling away from me, and me struggling on all tires, so that's not good.
Indeed it is. Well, we are just waiting to see if we're going to get anyone else in so far. To you, Ben.
So obviously in qualifying, you were second to set the lap, I think. How were those conditions at the start of the session with the rain coming down?
In the pits it didn't let it see it was raining, but on soft I set it and go completely out of the pit a second, and beginning of the lap I saw it start raining, so I a bit lucky. But
yeah, it was a very impressive lap, especially with the conditions being so greasy to do that lap. It's kind of set you up for the rest of the race, didn't it, really?
Yeah.
So, yeah. I think that's all from me, really.
Indeed, we're just going to wait and see if anyone else has joined so far. I don't think anyone else has, though, if I'm not mistaken, Ben.
I'll quickly check. No, I don't think anyone else has now, unfortunately.
Indeed. Well, I suppose because I've got to do the next tier, by the way. I'm going to be commentating D5 in just about 20-30 minutes, so don't forget to tune in to watch my voice leave. Oh, as I thought someone joined, that was Jelly leaving. I got excited then, thinking someone joined. No, Jelly just left. But I'll see you all guys in 30 minutes. Ben will be racing in D2, don't forget, so you can cheer him on. God help him, but I will speak to you in a little bit. But from me and Ben here in Sao Paulo, for the first of 2 times for me, take care and goodbye.
Yeah.